Greyjoy! I claim the Salt Throne!
Hey, it's King McKay. Now, as it seems that Euron Greyjoy is going to be playing a very big role in Season 7, I thought it'd be pretty important to look at his character that we know on the show. Now, his book character will definitely be different from his show character, so the only really evidence we have to look at what his action is going to be and how he's going to act is from the small Kings Moot scene that we got. So we're going to break down this scene, make sure we can understand the flaws of the characters, the flaws in the actual scene, what promises he makes to the Ironborn, and how he's going to fulfill them. So let's get into it.
Heard you managed to fuck things right into the ground. Captured a castle you couldn't keep. Got yourself taken prisoner. Even heard you have no cock.
So first off, Euron goes for a straight character assassination on Theon, which is a very, very good tactic considering that he has a trash character. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Theon as a character on the show, it's because the Ironborn have nothing to respect him for. The only reason he's got any weight in this entire Kings Moot is because he's the son of Balon's. So by tearing down Theon's character, Euron makes his support for Yara worthless. So right away from this strategy, we know that he's not some kind of stupid drunken idiot just throwing out insults, right? This was a clearly planned assassination of Theon's character so he could get a better claim against Yara. And the manner of which he does it by making him a laughingstock of the Ironborn and making him seem manless, it was really reflective of how he knows how to really manipulate the Ironborn.
I'm glad you're here. Now I know what my first act as queen will be. To execute the man who killed my father.
I did. I killed him. Threw him right over a rope bridge and watched him fall. He was leading us nowhere. And we would still be heading there if it weren't for me.
Now straight away Yara goes for the best, cleanest attack. No one would ever respect a kinslayer, not in Game of Thrones especially. Apart from they randomly do for some random reason. Now believe it or not, Balon had some supporters, like he was still pretty popular in the Iron Islands. And kinslaying makes you cursed. You don't want a cursed person for your leader. Also, not to mention, it's pretty immoral to kill your leader. So I don't know why he would ever bring that up to the point. Like, he did it in a way that it could be kind of passed off to the Storm God. They don't know who did it. He has an excuse because he wasn't in the bay when it happened. And then he kind of throws it all out of the water for some random reason. Now, it's true that in the Iron Islands, certain people were questioning what Balon was doing. He was driving them to more and more wars, and they were failing. But this doesn't mean that they're going to forgive you for killing him, kinslaying him, right? Like, Yara should have been, like, driving that point down his throat as soon as he admitted it, and she really should have had support of everyone there, because they all openly heard him say he killed his own brother. Like, in the books, Euron sleeps with his brother's wife, right? And then his brother is so driven to grief by this, that he kills his own wife with his bare hands, right? But still not willing to kill Euron or even harm him for kinslay. Like, that's how important it is to them as a culture. But he just kind of like openly admits it to everyone. Ugh, it just doesn't make sense. Let's just move on. I can't. Writers, you don't stop.
I apologize to you all for not killing him years ago.
That would have been hard to do. You weren't here. You were gone. Yara was here. Being Ironborn, leading Ironborn, getting ready to bring us back to glory.
And how will she do that?
I will build the largest fleet the world has ever seen.
Okay, so Theon brings up the point that's pretty good. You weren't here. You left the Iron Islands, you were banished by Balon, he probably should have said that, I don't know if he knows that or not, and that you abandoned your peoples in the time of war, the time of growth. Why would she even respect you, right? Now this is a very good point, but it's coming out of the wrong mouth. Like, he's the guy that was taken as a ward of the Starks for how long? Like, Yara should have been saying that, not Theon. Destroys the point to come out of Theon's mouth. Now, as Theon says this, Yara's kind of like, yeah, I still have a chance. Yeah, maybe this is the last kind of draw that she can try and win back the argument with. And she's like, this is my time to really proclaim my entire political strategy. I'm going to build ships. Great. It's just really helpful. She doesn't discuss whether they're going to carry on the war, who they're going to attack with the ships, if they're going to use it for defense only, how they're going to expand their empire, how they're actually going to win that, or any of this. She just kind of says, I'm going to build ships. Which is not much. Also, the flaw is that building ships is a strategy that anyone could do. It doesn't take much leadership to say, build ships. And that's why Euron just does this.
Right idea. Except I'm the one who's going to build the Iron Fleet.
Da-ding, he just takes the idea. Simple as that. Now this just brings it back down to, again, the characters, who they are. She's a female, he's a male, they're both Greyjoys. He brings a level playing to just the basic stuff again, which puts him in the front.
Because I'm the one who knows how to use it. I've been all over the world. I've seen more of it than all of you combined. And across the sea, there is a person who hates the great lords of Westeros just as much as we do. Someone with a large army, 3 large dragons, and no husband. I'm going to build that fleet, and I'm going to gallivant right over and give it to Daenerys Targaryen, along with my big cock.
In the book series, this isn't actually what Euron does to convince the Kings Moot that they should follow him. Because his brother Victorian is also in the race, which makes 2 males in the race, and doesn't have that advantage like we have in the show. And he uses the performance of this giant-ass dragon horn that's like super powerful and impactful, and it really changes the minds of everyone there. Because it's like super magical, and it shows the kind of influence he could possibly have, and it kind of emboldens everyone there. Now in the show, they just decided to go with he does what Yara did by saying they're going to build a fleet, and then he also proposes they're going to do a marriage and alliance, which is probably a better policy plan because it shows the direction of which you're going to take them. Like, building a fleet and then doing nothing with it is pointless. It would have made a lot more sense if she went the path that they took in the books, where she kind of said that she didn't agree with her father's policy of war, how they had failed the previous one, they're failing this one. They would rather just kind of keep their small kingdom intact as the Iron Islands, their land, their ships.
You're going to seduce the Dragon Queen.
I'm not going to seduce her. The Iron Fleet will seduce her. And together we're going to take the 7 kingdoms. I wasn't born to be king. I paid the iron price. And here I stand.
Now compared to what Euron promises in the book, this is nothing. Like, he has a dragon horn that he says can control a dragon and bring it to their side, which is definitely a ginormous plus to, you know, backing him. But just operating up his fleet is something that probably Dany would just expect for fealty, to be honest. So his position is just to pick a very strong lord with a big army and then suck up to her teat and follow her, give her her armies in exchange for a marriage proposal. The only difference between that and like backing the Lannisters previously and stuff like that is that they get a marriage proposal as well as an alliance. Now, if they back Dany as well, she probably wants to rule everything, so they wouldn't even get their own kingdom. So, like, this is a far worse deal than previous offers from Balon, and probably what Yara was going to do. So there's nothing really that should be convincing from this, especially because he admitted to kinslaying his brother, and then later on says that he wants to go murder Yara and Theon, which is more kinslaying, because apparently they're all good with that. So to wrap this up, I think that Euron is really going to be a lot less of a kind of mysterious magical character like he is in the books, and more of this just straight kind of cruel, kind of JP lord that's just looking for more power by backing someone like Dany. So knowing that about his character, and knowing that Theon and Yara have sniped his idea like he did with the ship idea, and went to Dany first, we can probably guess he's going to go for the next powerful lord, which is just the Lannisters. So the Ironborn are back to square one where they were in Season 1, where they could have just backed the Lannisters and got what they wanted. But at least we'll get a pretty cool season of conflict between him and his niece and nephews that definitely wants the murder.
Where are my niece and nephew? Let's go murder them.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my other video I put out yesterday about Euron. It's right here. Also, thanks for the support on the Audible sponsorship. You guys are awesome. Make sure to, if you haven't done already, it's right here in the link below. I promise I won't shout this out every single time. Also, you should subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be putting out a lot more content coming out for Season 7.
Hey, it's King McKay.